Do you get impacted by other people's opinions? And it really impacts you from living a good quality life. Well, today I'm going to share some points for thinking about this differently and moving through this. And if you stay until the end, I have an extra special point for you then. Now, before we dive in, I just want to announce I'm giving an opportunity following some feedback and a recent challenge I've launched for three people to work with me personally on business coaching. So, free spots, an opportunity for you. Link below if you've been thinking about starting that business, and more on this later. So, me personally, with people pleasing and caring about other people's opinions has been a big challenge, lifelong challenge. I remember from an early age, as a kid, I used to be, it was more not worried about upsetting people, but more annoyed when other people disagreed with me or said something critical to me, like other kids, or disagreed with me. And that's because I didn't have a very good opinion of myself. And I thought everyone else has to agree with me. I have to be validated. We're going to go into this in a minute, a bit why that is. And going through the corporate world, or kind of in the public sector, I remember being really, really scared to talk to anyone, and not talk to anyone, but talk to anyone I didn't know, or anyone when I had to ask them to do something. And that's because I was so worried about their opinion. And I was worried about my reports going out. What would people think? What if I spoke up in a meeting, asked a question, gave an update? Oh my God, people's opinions. I was so scared, right? I was terrified. So I was at that point. Now I produce a lot of social media, a lot of podcasts. I get a little bit of criticism, and it doesn't really, there's always that part of me that goes, interesting, why are they criticizing me? But it doesn't impact me too much. And I built up through the corporate workplace and built a strong kind of thicker skin, a kind of a more resilience to any kind of criticism and other people's opinions and worrying about it holding me back. Now, I believe, and why is this that we have worried about other people's opinions? And why did I? I believe it's because, I first of all, I don't believe nobody cares zero about what others think. That's rubbish. When someone goes, I don't care what anyone thinks. No, I disagree. We all have to get validation from other people some way, to abide by the law for a start. Like as we get arrested. It's obviously criminals who get arrested, but that's an exceptional circumstance. Or for going to our jobs or even running our businesses, right? We have to get validation elsewhere, like out of business, out of jobs. Our relationships with our close friends, family, loved ones. There's some things we do for validation. Like there's never anyone who's like, no, don't care what anyone thinks. I think there is some degree always. Now, the degree to which you care about people's opinions so much that holds you back is a different story. Now, why is it some people hold us back? I believe, or why is it opinions of others hold us back? I believe it's the degree on our self-esteem, how strong our self-esteem is, and how much we need to be validated by others because we don't validate ourselves. Now, our self-esteem will vary from person to person, depending on our early experiences, maybe how much criticism, maybe experiences. The good thing is we can change our self-esteem and validate ourselves, and therefore that's going to reduce the need from other people. Now, unfortunately, we're not taught this, how we don't do this. We hear not very good advice, in my personal opinion. Things like, oh, just be positive. Oh, you're a great person. And that's not going to change your opinion of yourself. It might feel good for a moment, tiny moment, but you've got to validate you. And that's why when I work personally one-to-one with someone, that's some of the tools I give them, right? And that's what I've done for myself. Now, how's it helping you? Being so caught up by other people's opinions, you just hold still. Well, if you're anything like me, it didn't do me any favors. So let's go through 3 points I want to get you to think through. And a couple of them are questions to ask yourself in the situation to help you. So the first one is, what makes this person qualified to give an opinion? Now, sometimes they might have a bit more of a status, but often we get impacted by opinions of people who say something negative. When actually you look at actually the source it's coming from, it's not putting the person down, but you do have to question it. So someone, for example, your mate tells you, oh, starting a business is a stupid idea. And is your mate a multi-millionaire who runs a business, or a five-figure, six-figure business owner? My bet is no. They probably never started a business. They've just heard about it, or maybe they started one and they failed drastically. Right? A successful business owner is not going to tell you that. Okay, they're going to say, "Yeah, do it. It's a great idea. You just get the right resources. They might give you a bit of guidance, that kind of thing." Someone who tells you, "Oh no, it's yeah, no, it's a bad idea to um." This is what you should do in dating, this, and this, and that person, has been single for the last 10 years, right? Are they qualified to give an opinion, right? Or telling you, are you doing this wrong, that wrong, right? Now, sometimes someone might have an opinion and actually they got they're more qualified. Now, and that comes on to the point two. And point two is, what can I learn from this? Instead of taking it as a criticism, when maybe if it is if someone's attacking you, ignore it. But if it is someone and you think, oh, I could use this to improve myself as growth, life's happening for me, think about how you could use it. So management, I used to get really hurt when like someone like management in my job said something and I didn't like it. And I started thinking, okay, how can I improve it if it was useful, what they were saying? Because they're all going to have different opinions at the end of the day. Oh, how can I use this opportunity to interact with people a little bit differently? Those quality questions are really going to impact the way you think. And then the third thing, and you're not going to necessarily like this, but it's how you improve your self-esteem and confidence in general. It's doing things daily or very regularly that are going to involve you getting going and potentially doing things uncomfortable that will involve other people's opinions. So things like complimenting someone who's serving you in the coffee shop, or going into a public place when you're really scared to do so and you've got other people looking at you, right? If that scares you, right? Yeah, I'm to a point where I can just walk into most places and I'm fine. So what is it that scares you? And just doing these little things very regularly through your week, because the more you do that, the more you're going to build up that muscle of validating yourself and showing yourself how courageous you are, and therefore not needing other people's opinions as much. Okay. Now, I've got an extra point for you as well. And just before I get onto that, I wanted to touch a little bit more on the one-to-one. So I've got 3 spots that I'm opening up for this. So if you're someone who's holding yourself back and you're like, oh, I want to start a business, and you got this BS stories. I'm sorry, I'm just going to call it out. Absolute BS. Like, I'm too busy. Nobody's too busy for a priority. Oh, I've not got round to it. Oh, I haven't got this. I haven't got that. When there's more opportunities than ever, and you want someone to actually push you out of that rubbish in your head, well, all you got to do is click the link below for a quick chat with me, where we can talk about if we're a right fit and how I could potentially support you. So my final point for you today is, listen to someone who's highly confident and doesn't worry about other people's opinions as much. Like I say, I don't believe anyone has zero care, but there are people who are fearless and not fearless, but they fear less than other people about other people's opinions. People like Dan Pena is a good example, like Tony Robbins. There are many people out there like who are highly confident and they go out there. Grant Cardone's another good example. Lots of people dislike these people, yet they go out and they voice, right? If you listen to these people over and over again, it'll start rubbing off on you. So find someone who you can admire, who's a good role model for voicing what they think, going through the opinion of other people, and then start listening to them regularly and start picking up on some of the patterns they do, and it will actually start rubbing off on you. Just do it for a week. That's my extra point for you. So that's what I've got for you today. Once again, a final reminder about the one-to-one opportunity, only limited spots. So once they've gone, they've gone. I'll leave that link below and we can have a chat personally if it's a right fit. So I appreciate you for being here. You're improving other people's lives by being the best you. And remember, you are in control of your own self-esteem and confidence.